Right, I'm back with another video. Should be a bit shorter this time. Just something different. But I'm just going to talk about, just apologies for that, my favourite plugins that, jeepers. So I'm going to go through the plugins that I use on most sessions. Some of them being mixing plugins, some of them being more for creative choice, some of them getting effects, all that kind of stuff. And we're just going to apply them and kind of why I use them and just kind of like my go-tos. So let's pull up this idea that I had that I made recently. This keyboard is pish. Housey number. So we're just going to do just some processing to random clips and kind of show you why I use them, what I use them for. So first of all, let's just do, so kind of the way that I do my process would be just get ideas out there, sound selection. If I want a specific sound, then I would use plugins more for creative choice, and then at the end I would mix it. Do you know what I mean? So if I was doing a lot of processing while I'm making stuff, that would be to get a specific sound. It wouldn't be to tweak EQs as much or like get the compression sitting right and stuff like that. That would more be done after, in hindsight, to mix it so it all sits better. So let's do some cool effects, shall we? First up, use it on everything. You've seen me talk about it all the time, RC20. By Excellent Audio. It's just like a vintage emulator kind of thing, retro sounding. Talked about it before. So there's a noise setting. You can toggle through which different types of vinyl I usually keep this quite minimal, because then it can get quite annoying. Let's turn this down a bit. Next we've got wobble. It's kind of like to emulate like the flutter or something on the roads. You gotta be careful with that. And then just some distortion. Again, choose which. Then digital. Cool effects on that. This is a wee bit of reverb. And then this just kind of makes it like it's tape or something that it's got these dropouts, kind of random sounding. Next, important to consider the width. So I can either do this with this, or I'd use a stereo width plugin. So you can make it mono, really close, or right wide in your ears. Kind of depends how much stereo-ness you want in there. There's an EQ in this as well, which can be hard or soft. And the tone, I don't really use this tone thing much. It's kind of like a filter almost. Cool, that's RC20. Similar sort of idea would be this new cassette thing that I've got. I just got it, but yeah, it's cool. can go with. This is a bit more drastic. Get that out. Right. Decapitator. Let's put this on the percussion group. Just a bit more energy to it, Jim. There's loads of presets. Something that I kind of this year figured out that I should be using these more. Do you know what I mean? Because they're made by the companies, and like you've always kind of got this specific idea in mind, and usually stuff like this. Massive crunch. What's that? That's a bit much. It's just Decapitator by Sound Toys, like an industry standard saturation drive sort of plugin. Next, Devilux Deluxe, also something creatively, just audio destroyer. Again, I got all of these. A light bit of that's nice. We can really crunch it. Pan Man, again Sound Toys. They're solid. If you can get the academic Sound Toys bundle, do it, because it is a bargain. And I use it on everything. So this is Pan Man, which is like an automated panner. It's great. From left to right. Hear that? Give it a bit of movement. Also, you can give it a bit of groove even just by panning it. So these are the snares. Use the stereo width on it. Some vintage verb, why not? So Valhalla vintage verb, solid. I have the two of these, Valhalla Room and vintage one. See loads of producers using that these days. So those are all kind of effects, creative stuff that I do regularly, just to kind of get the sounds I want. Oh, I forgot about delay. Yeah, I'd use Echo Boy delay all the flipping time. I like to play about with these bits. Just give it a bit more bounce. Or go for these. Just whatever you want. So even like a wee bit of EQ of what actually gets in. Cool. Creative stuff done. Let's talk about the mix stuff that I use. Something that it's a bit of a cheat code, but it's great. It's Soothe. So this is a resonant frequency remover. So all of those harsh sounding stuff. You can go in individually and take them out. Or you can use something called Soothe, which just flattens it out and gets rid of all that harshness. So this is what is actually being taken out. That like, you can actually go in and, so the more you boost here, so it's like counterintuitive, but I'm going to boost at this 4K range, which actually means it's going to focus in on the 4K range and take out. So it's like upside down version of an EQ. So that's it off. That's on. It just kind of flattens it out a wee bit in your ears. Again, loads of presets, which are helpful, especially when you're doing like a master or something. So yeah, Soothe is a go-to. So the EQ that is my go-to at the moment, Pro Q3 by FabFilter. Again, my dad's coming up again, flip's sake. Don't get any peace in this house. This is why you don't move home. So for something like percussion, anything that I don't really need, I just take out any low end, which I want the bass, which I don't have in this tune. But any kick or any sub or anything, I want that to be, there's be space in that. But yeah, Pro Q. So the great thing about this is you can hear. Don't really need any of that. It's just solid. I'm just scratching the surface of what these plugins can actually do, and I've just got them recently, so I'm no expert, but already they're like, I can already tell these are great. Yeah, and I just invested in buying them all now because I'm going to have them for the rest of my life. It was a bit expensive, but the discount was worth it, so get it if you're a student. Cool. The compressor that I go to is, again, FabFilter. Again, scratching the surface. Pro C2. Bit of beef. Really, what else I haven't used? And then the limiter I'd use, again, Pro limiter. FabFilter. Yeah, that's kind of my go-tos. I've got a few others, but I'd recommend all of these. Industry standard, you see them everywhere. I got these because I saw a lot of producers that I really like using them. And if they're using them, they must be good. And yeah, hope that was helpful. Bye.